Have you ever had this nagging feeling in the back of your head that if you understood pricing, you could make a lot more money? Maybe the first time you priced your ebook or your digital course or whatever program you had, you just chose a random price off your head and you slapped it on there and you went with it. Quite frankly, I see this all the time, and I realize how much money these people could be making if they simply understood pricing. Unfortunately, they don't, and they're simply skimping out on it. A lot of them, in fact, are quite novice at this, and they only understand very general principles about pricing. In this video, I will give you some very quick tips to get a better understanding of pricing. So I want to start off by asking you a question. Would you rather have 10 customers who have purchased from you for the first time for a product that cost maybe $47? Or would you rather have one customer who purchased for you for the first time who bought a product that cost $600? Now, a lot of people would answer the latter because on paper they've made more money. But in reality, the first is oftentimes much more valuable. And again, just as a disclaimer, take all this knowledge like you've paid $2,000 for it, because it is that valuable and it has helped people make millions of dollars. So even though I'm giving this away for free, make sure you really value this. Anyhow, to continue, people do not realize that a buyer's list of customers is 25 times to 50 times more valuable than a list of email subscribers who have not bought from you before. This buyer's list is oftentimes the people who will buy again from you, buy more from you, and buy frequently from you. So realizing that is very critical. Another huge insight is to understand that one of the toughest things you can do is convert a non-buyer to a buyer. Once you have surmounted that and they have become a buyer, they have now overcame a lot of psychological barriers and obstacles that have prevented them from moving to a buyer. Now they have a certain level of trust with you and they understand you, and things become a lot easier. So this is very, very critical, and when people do not understand this, it really just destroys their world. They sell something to someone and then they never see them again. Now, this is not how you want to go about it. And people who have taken this knowledge I'm telling you and implemented it have seen tremendous increases in their profits. So the first thing you have to do is have a low tier product to convert non-buyers to buyers. Now, I think this is very important because if you do this, you will convert more. The second thing to do is follow up with buyers. Now, your buyers list is so valuable. However, so many people just leave them to neglect. They keep looking at things like a one-time purchase. Okay, you've purchased my ebook, now I'll never see you again, or I'll never sell you anything again. This is the most stupid thing you can do. And guess what? When you can avoid it, you can make a lot more money. I've seen it. I've seen people who have gone back to their buyers list and sold additional stuff later on, especially when you develop your relationship with them even further and they trust you even more with free content. Guess what? These people who have bought from you will buy even more and much more expensive products in the future. A lot of people make this huge mistake of selling to a premium price product immediately. Some people will charge $500, some people will charge thousands of dollars to individuals who have never bought from them. Now, for some people this works well, But what are you doing with all those other people who haven't purchased from you? And generally speaking, that's the greater majority of people. They will not purchase such a high-end product from you, no matter how good you are at selling or presenting this product to them. So what do you do with these people? Unfortunately, it's not always the best thing to go straight for the kill with a high-end premium product. Finally, let's talk about pricing strategies. So what should you price things at? People choose random numbers: $4.97, $97, $50, a $5 ebook, a $2,000 product. As a general rule of thumb, one thing you should do is always use a 7 or a 9 at the end of your price. Which one's better, 7 or 9? The difference is marginal. I prefer 7, but you can go with 9 because maybe you make a little bit more money with those $2 extra. But based off what I've researched, 7 tends to work better. Now, what do a lot of novices do? A lot of novices think that they're better than the system, and they think they will be unique and stand out by choosing an arbitrary price like $63. Hey, my product ends in a 3 rather than a 7 or 9. These are the people who usually tend to stay forever in the novice zone. Now, why is this the case? Because guess what? There have been hundreds, if not thousands of companies who have spent millions of their own dollars testing every conceivable price and pricing strategy imaginable. So what does this mean? It means that they've tested your $63. They've tested everything, and they have come to the conclusion that a 7 or a 9 oftentimes works the best by far. I mean, you can trust these individuals to test. So in reality, you're not being unique at all. In fact, what you're doing is disregarding people who have spent tens of millions of dollars to test things. And by doing so, you're probably leaving a lot of money on the table. There's probably a reason why specific numbers work a lot better. Finally, I want to emphasize the dangers of lower perceived value. Now, this is something that's highly exclusive to online products and coaching and so forth. Although there's a bit of parallel in other businesses, but not always. For some reason, if you price your product too low, the customer will think, or they will believe that your service is not that good, even if you poured your heart and soul into this thing. Now, obviously, results vary depending on the niche and industry that you're covering. Maybe if you market it really, really well and you sell it really well, or it's just a blockbuster, amazing product or service or video course, people will know it's a bargain because it is. But sometimes they just don't because of that low price. Sometimes people assume it's too good to be true, and they think, why is this so cheap? It's the unfortunate reality of things. You could pour your heart and soul into this thing, but for whatever reason, you priced it way too low, and people naturally immediately assume that this is a poor quality product. So that basically means price higher. Now, this is not advice for any internet scammers or get rich quick people. Those are not the type of people I want on my videos. And if you use these for manipulative practices, such as creating a crappy product and trying to sell it using higher pricing to trick people, that will backfire in the long run anyways. So make sure you actually have a product or video course that knocks people's socks off. So if you want to take things a step further, I have tremendous more knowledge on pricing that I could possibly help you with, and this will help you make a lot more money, in my opinion. It's helped people make double, triple, 5 times their profits, sometimes even more. I will cover things such as, well, should you price at $4.97 or $47 or $6.85? How high or low should you go to maximize your gains? I talk about some very incredible information on how you can literally make a lot more money just by making a few tweaks to your pricing. I also cover how a lot of the knowledge I'm showing you has been backed up by testing by companies who have tens of millions of dollars to spend. I go into detail on specific companies who have spent this money testing and tweaking in order to figure out what works best, what doesn't, in your specific niche, in online courses, online digital type products. All these things will help you tremendously because guess what? You are thoroughly missing out on a lot of money, and by doing this, you could be making so much more. Unfortunately, a lot of people are stuck in this zone of not even knowing that they are missing out. So if you're interested, click the button below and you can purchase my initial course on pricing. Thank you, and I'll see you on the other side.